Hello, it's Jackson. I want to do a self-assessment at the end of the semester. If I had to describe myself in one word, it would be explorer. The word I used in my introduction at the start of this class is still rings true. I've always been drawn to new ideas, new experience, and to people who challenge the way I think. But over the past few months, I've come to understand that leadership isn't about venturing alone. It's about building a path with others, creating space where everyone feels safe to show up as their full selves. This class helped me start building that kind of leadership. My personal core values are authenticity, independence, and connection. These are traits I turn to when I make decisions and when I face uncertainty. I believe in speaking truthfully, thinking for myself, and building real relationships are grounded in empathy rather than performance. In our team found a project, we choose four collective values: respect diversity, growth mindset, open communication, and shared accountability. These align closely with my personal values and give us a strong foundation to build an inclusive team culture. Together, these values remind me that inclusion isn't just about being kind, it's about being intentional. I try to embody each of these values in my project work. For example, with honesty, I was honest. I was unsure about the proposal. During our third meeting, while planning our project Connect, I noted that the most language we're using, like bridge engagement gaps and empower voices, sound inspiring but lack clarity. I asked if someone outside our class saw this slide, would they understand what to do with it? That promoted a real pause in the conversation. Our teammate admitted that they were unsure how it would be implemented. We then decided to add a concrete to a weekly anonymous feed form to accompany with the initiative. Independence show up when I volunteered to drive the implementation plan for Project Online. I took initiative to outline the shared accountability mechanism, designing a peer check-in system that our team could actually use. I shared the first draft in our Slack channel and explicitly invited edits from everyone. In my personal life, I also protect independence by turning down case competition that overlapped with my finals and our team deadline. It was tempting, but I realized I had to intentionally about my energy and focus. Connection was the value I brought mostly into our team. In week 5, I noted that one of the teammates who have previously been very vocal, barely talking during two straight meetings. I messaged her privately the night and asked, "Hey, I noticed you were quiet today. How are you doing?" She replied with a long message explaining that she had been overwhelmed by her finals and was afraid that she would slow us down. I told her we value her perspective and offered to swap deadlines with her for the week. In next meetings, she came prepared with detailed edits and helped us refine one of our project proposal. One challenge I faced was staying discomforted rather than avoiding it. I've always feared being that person who pushes back too much. But I remember one meeting where I interrupted a teammate out of excitement and I saw another team member visibly shut down right after. I followed up by saying, "I realized I cut you off earlier. I'm sorry, I really want to hear what you're saying." The moment taught me that accountability does not have to be dramatic. It can be respectful and quiet. Throughout this course, I've learned and applied several key relationship skills. The first is nonviolent communication. One example came up with a friend during final week. We agreed to co-work on Zoom every morning at 9 a.m. to stay productive. But she kept joining like 20, 30 minutes later. I said, When we're great to meet at night and enjoy at 9:30, I feel like my time is not being respected. I really value this time and want us to use it well. Would that work for you? She apologized and was on time on the rest of the week. The second skill, empathic listening. I used to jump into problem solving too quickly. One classmate vented me about feeling isolated in another group project. I paused and said, that sounds frustrating. Do you want support or just a space to talk it through? She said she most likely needs someone to listen. The moment helped me realize sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is just hold space and listen. The third skill is calling people in, not out. During an early team meeting, a teammate said, I don't think this part matters that much, let's skip it. I noticed other teammate turned down her camera right after. I reached out to the first teammate privately and said, I know it didn't mean that way, but it might have some dismissive. I just want to flag it because I care about our tone. He was grateful for the heads up and actually brought it up at the next check-in. The moment helped get a more open tone for our whole group. One skill I continue working is asserting boundaries. I've often overcommitted to myself to show I care. This semester I try to say things like that. I love to help, but I will need more time to do it well. Can we adjust the deadline? It's still hard, but I learned that honest boundaries create trust, not distance. I've decided to let go of apologizing. I used to start every idea with sorry if this is dumb. I'm sorry if I ask a dumb question. Now I try to speak with more self-trust and the belief of I'm letting go with I need to be perfect and to be taken seriously. This class taught me that real leadership is honest, imperfect, and human. To keep myself accountable, I've started a journal weekly using the promote. How did I live my values this week? I also check my monthly with a friend who's helping me stay grounded in a kind of leader I want to become. I even set a calendar reminders to revisit tools like MVC and feedback process. This self-assessment isn't the ending, it's the beginning. I know I won't always get it right, but I was committed to showing up with care, courage, and constancy. Thank you.